Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. We've got the Week 12 DraftKings first look. Yes, we're recording this before the Thanksgiving slate. There is a Thanksgiving first look up if you're looking for that. It's got literally the greatest thumbnail in the history of NFL YouTube videos. You can't miss it. It's fantastic. Go check that out if you're looking for info on the 3-game slate. I go game by game for that one in case you're playing Showdown or in case you're playing the Millionaire Maker. So your all-day Thanksgiving feast video is there. This one is for the Sunday main slate for NFL DFS Week 12. It's an ugly week. There's a lot of value at running back. We're going to try and isolate to some of that and wrap it around a double stack with a bring back and correlate a secondary stack as well. As you can see, Deebo Samuel has been outstanding this year. He is going to be included in the lineup, but I'm going to see how I can fit him in there on a really weird week, especially when it comes to quarterbacks, stacks, bringbacks, all of that. So thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and leave me a reply down below letting me know which direction you're looking to go early in the week this week. And let's go.
He's a legend.
So we have a link to the listener league. Smizzle.tv/league is where it exists every single week. It's the same link. Smizzle.tv/league, all lowercase letters. 3,000 again this week because of the Thanksgiving midweek shakeup. So they dropped it from 3,250. We didn't fill it last week, so I expected it would drop, but it dropped back down to 3,000 entries. No rake, 3 max, $10 entry fee. First thing that you're going to notice on this slate, when you look at the odds, is that basically there's a lot of pick'ems. Every team is bad. Nobody stands out. I saw a stat last night that like in the NFC, I think every team is within 2 games of being in the playoffs, except like the Lions. So like they're all just kind of middling teams, and some are better offensively than others. Tom Brady's fantastic, multiple touchdowns in every game except 2 this year. But in one where he threw for 1 against the Rams, he at least ran for 1. So I guess multiple touchdowns there as well. Can clearly sustain double stacks, and there's enough value to go get him. And great bring back plays on Indy as well. But I'm not going to go that route. Jalen Hurts has been fantastic. I told you earlier in the season, and people fought me. They wanted to fight. They're just fight you straight. Like, y'all really need to send apology letters. There's some of y'all who really need to send apology letters to Jalen Hurts. Send them to the Eagles. They'll get them and address it. Jalen Hurts, say, I'm sorry. I did not think that you were going to be a good quarterback. I did not think that you were going to be a good fantasy player. I did not understand why your ADP was where it was, but I understand now. Through his first 15 games as a starter, his stats right now measure comparably to Lamar Jackson's first 15 games as a starter. I'm not saying he's going to win the MVP or any of that stuff, but like, you know, like Lamar did in his first full year as a starter, but he has been more than capable and should be the Eagles starter moving forward. Very viable this week as well against the Giants who suck. I love that we have Brady and Stafford on a slate. This game does look like it's going to be really solid against Aaron Rodgers. And look, both teams have good defenses, but good offense and good scheme can overcome a good defense, especially with team totals as high as they're going to be in that one. That one is a pick 'em. Both teams at about 25 in that 24.5 to 25 expected totals there. And if that game does kind of shoot out and the defenses can't be efficient when teams get into the red zone, as Green Bay has not been an efficient team when opponents have gotten into the red zone, Stafford and the Rams do a great job of scheming to get their players open. If we can get 4 touchdowns from both teams, it's going to be one of the games where you're gonna have to have stacks. And Aaron Rodgers, clearly the best quarterback to stack last week. Not saying that last week's finishes are going to be indicative of anything moving forward. Kirk Cousins has been outstanding so far this year, multiple times, right? And for some reason, Jefferson and Thielen just kind of live. I don't put them in videos mostly because they're just going to be on the 5 under 5 like every week. They've been, and they're going to smash like every week because Kirk Cousins in this offense. The defense isn't doing a great job of stopping anybody. They're not quite carnival level, but like 65 total points, 47 here, 65 total points, 36 here, lot, 32 total, 62 total points in this game. You get involved in shootouts, you have a quarterback with the weapons that he has, and you're going to find paths to get there. So as I said, I'm going to include Debo in this one. So you know he's getting there, but I'm not going to do it in a double stack with Kirk Cousins or a Garoppolo stack. Newton's still cheap. Tua Tagovailoa still cheap as well. Daniel Jones, what a mess the Giants offense is right now. Tannehill looks solid against New England. Burrow going down in price to 6,200 against Pittsburgh and their defense, but like, how do you not love this kid? He's just really good. He's really, really good. And again, like I said with Kirk Cousins, a defense that on paper looks solid, but also continually gives up mid-20s to mid-30s in points. And if they're going to do that, this offense is going to have to stay productive, to say the least. So let's go with a stack there, because his price seems to be a little bit too cheap. You can utilize Eckler in a double stack with him, knowing how many targets he gets, a solid percent of the target market share there. One of the few teams that I will open up for running back to be involved in a double stack with the quarterback. Typically, I'm using quarterback double stacks to get away from running back chalk, right? It's a great way to leverage running back chalky plays by saying, you know what, everybody's going to be on this running back, so I'm going to double stack the quarterback. This just looks like a game that, yeah, there's two on paper really good defenses, but wide receivers are way too cheap. One, Keenan Allen is a double-digit target machine. Love him. Mike Williams, still living in that 5-6 target range, but we saw him get loose for a 53-yard touchdown at the end of the game, one that helped me win the Sunday night showdown. So I'm thankful to Big Mike for coming down with that one, as he was having a pretty average game, another one in a row after that. But with as much attention as going to be paid, I think that he may get loose in this spot. Obviously, Allen is the slot receiver more often than not. Mike Williams going to draw a lot of attention on the outside, but from Surtain if he's there. But like, I think this is a spot where we can get him and Jerry Jeudy coming back. 8 targets against Dallas in week 9, 9 targets against Philly in week 10. Another spot to get on Jerry Jeudy here, at least for me. I mentioned that there was a lot of running back value on this slate, and there is. So he's great. If you want to pay up, fine. I don't like taking running backs against Tampa Bay unless they are heavily involved in the passing game. So while we've seen them involve him a lot in the passing game, most weeks he's going to have 2, 3, or 4 targets. Now, this offensive line is very good. And they are playing at home. And Vitavea was out against the Giants. But this is just, it's a weird spot. Jonathan Taylor not going to be really highly played this week. Another week where he'll probably be under 10%. I doubt he'll be under 5 again. But he may have reached that status where he just plays a lot. I would much rather pay $9,000 for Christian McCaffrey if you were going to pay up, because of the mostly assured usage in the pass game. Still has not clicked the bonus for us. Now gets Miami 24.9 last week, 26.1 there. The games that he has played and played in full, he has been the usual fantasy monster on volume alone. And if he happens to score a touchdown or 2, or happens to get you the 100-yard bonus, he could have a 35 to 40 point day at 9,000, as opposed to Taylor, where the paths to 40 plus are tougher for him. Looking at the value plays, like I think Joe Mixon also a really, really good play this week. But I think there are more value plays down in here. Saquon Barkley, tough matchup. Last night against Tampa Bay, the 6 targets were extremely encouraging. This offense has to get better, and Philadelphia has not been good at stopping opposing running backs from catching the ball, something that is clearly in Saquon's skill set, but we can get even lower. Robinson in a good spot. Harris at home and healthy against Tennessee. But AJ Dillon's 5,900 and Jones is still out. If AJ Dillon's going to get 5+ targets in the absence and probably have a floor of 12 to 14 points for us, where we know his ceiling is in the 22 to 30 point range, he's probably one of the best values on the slate. You can involve him with one of the Rams pass catchers if you want coming back. You could also utilize Henderson Jr. at 5,800. Another solid value here coming off of a bye week where this game could shoot out. Very involved in the passing game. Gets all of the inside the 5 carries as they love to pass it, until they get inside the 10, and then they pound the run. Gaskin is fine, but Miles Sanders at 5,100 is too cheap. They're not giving Miles Sanders one target again. I'm going to take the over on 1 target. I'm going to take the under on 3 rushing touchdowns from Jalen Hurts. And I'll take the value in tournaments at 5,100 for Miles Sanders, leaving us with, you know that Debo is coming because I put him on the cover. Ridiculous market share of targets. This game got out of hand, and it got out of hand early. Minnesota is going to be able to keep pace with San Francisco, but these 8 rushing attempts, because of all the injuries that they have, he's bolstering his ability in the passing game. Obviously, we want targets, not carries, but a lot of these carries are coming inside the 10-yard line, which is where we want to see carries. They're not just utilizing him as a weapon between the 20s. They're utilizing Debo all over the field and getting him a ton of usage in the passing game. Ayuk is out of the doghouse, but Samuel, still the number 1 guy in this offense, has so many weapons on it that I love Debo in that spot. You know that we're going to use a bring back play here. Kittle's great. There's a lot of good plays at tight end this week. Henry is running way more routes than is Jonnu if you wanted to head there. HIGBEE coming off a bye week and what I think could be a shootout this week. Arnold, everybody's going to run away from this after the Blutarski line that he posted in week 11 against San Francisco. But Gronklin's 3,700 again. Pairs up very well. Gives us a salary relief point. You can go with Justin Jefferson. You can go with the cheaper Thielen if you want and adjust your lineup thusly if that's the way you wanted to get there. There are ways to do that if you want. But Gronklin allows me to finish this lineup off with that secondary correlation, leaving me 2,200 for a defense. Fine. I'll throw the Jags in against Atlanta. Whatever. It works. Herbert, Dillon, Sanders, Allen, Williams, JEUDY, CONKLIN, Samuel, and the Jaguars. That's my first look lineup for week 12. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.